Good morning. Today we're going to take notes on the concept of percents and what is the connection between ratios, fractions, and percents. This is from Big Ideas Math, pages 220 to 221. I am going to change my pen because this one is not looking so good. So, here we go. The first thing I'd like us to do is to write some key ideas. And those key ideas are sorry, my pen is dying. That a percent, I'm going to circle that word because it's important. A percent is a part to whole ratio where the whole number is 100, meaning that it is out of 100. So you can write a percent as a fraction with the denominator of 100. Okay, so for example, if we were to have in number form 60%, it would equal 60 out of 100 or 60 over 100. Those are all equivalent. So we did an example where we took a 100 grid, and we first started off by I can create my 100 grid by dividing in half and half, creating a center column, dividing, center column, divide it, center column, divide it. Okay, so then what we did is we colored, and I'm going to color 3 full rows to signify that's 30, because each row has, or each column, I'm sorry, has 10 in it, and then I'm going to do half of another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to signify that I have got 35 out of 100 or 35%. So it looks like this, 35 over 100. Now, I can simplify that and divide both the numerator and denominator by 5. And if I do that, I'm going to get 7/20 as a simplified fraction. So 7/20 is 35%. Now, you can actually have something even bigger than 100%. So you could have, so if I were to do this again, and I were to draw now 2 boxes. And I'm going to divide it up into 100 blocks. Like I said, I like to do a column on each side, divide that column, then a column over here, divide it. It's not exactly even, but we get the idea of how many are in there, and that's okay. It's good enough. Okay, so what I could do is I could actually color this whole thing, signifying that I have 1 whole, and then I could do, let's do 7. So I'm going to go all the way, here's half, which would be 50. 50% is half. Do 2 more columns, and then how about I do 4? I think I actually might have done 5. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's 5, here's 70. So what I have is I have 1 whole, and 74 more. So that's 174%, which is equivalent to 174 out of 100. So you can actually have a number greater than 100. It just means that that percentage is going to be more than complete 100%. Now we can simplify that, and we can say, okay, well, we have, how many times does 100 go into 74? Well, it goes 1. So I would have 1, sorry.
Attention, avid students. Avid students going to Hemet High tomorrow.
So now that we have this number, we have to simplify it again. I can divide both number by 2. I apologize for that. So I have 1 now. 74 divided, or I'm sorry, this was wrong. I said, hold on. I said I had 175% because I counted 5 over here, which would be 1 75 hundredths, which we could subtract. We could put 25 into both. 25 goes into 75 3 times, so I would get 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 is 175%. Think about if you got extra credit on the test. You could get over 100% on that test, which would mean that you would be getting more than your complete percent. So once again, sorry about this. This is incorrect because I actually counted 75%. So that would be the accurate amount. Now, one last thing that we can do. If we have a fraction like 1/4 and we want to see what percentage it would be, what we can do is we can find equivalent ratio out of 100. So I would just take my fraction, I would write it over here, and then put an equivalent fraction across from it. And now I would need to figure out how many times can 4 go into 100. Well, 4 times 25 equals 100, so therefore I have to do the same to the top and the bottom. I would have make an equivalent fraction or ratio, and then find missing value by multiplying across. So 1 times 25 equals 25. Therefore, 25 per 100 means that this would be 25%. 1/4 is 24%. So when you're doing this, you always want to make sure that you are making an equivalent ratio. Then once you've made your equivalent ratio, you're figuring out how many times does this number go into this number, and then whatever you do to the bottom, do to the top. And that's a simpler way without having to draw the model. I'm going to do one more of those just to make sure. I'm on the other page, the left-hand side, and I'm going to do 3/50ths. Well, how many times does 3/50ths go? I'm going to make my second ratio, and now I need to find the relationship. How many times does 50 go into 100? Well, it goes in twice. So 50 times 2, whatever you do to the bottom, do to the top. 3 times 2 is 6. It would be 6%. If you have any questions, please make sure you email me or that you go back and rewatch this video. We'll be doing percentages again in our next lesson, so this is just an introduction, but have a great day.